All right. The frequency polygon is the next thing we're going to focus on. And the frequency polygon is a graph that displays the data using lines that connect. Let me get rid of calculus. I don't need it no more. Connect points plotted for the frequencies at the midpoints of the classes. The frequencies are represented by the heights of the points. My lisp is acting up. A frequency polygon is a graph that shows the shape of the distribution that uses the midpoints from each class of the x-axis and the frequency for the y-axis. A dot will be placed at the midpoint and the height of the frequency of the class. Before you connect the dots, use the width of the frequency distribution and find one midpoint less than the lowest midpoint and one midpoint more than the highest midpoint. Those values will be the starting and ending values for the frequency polygon, and those dots will be placed on the x-axis. Finally, connect all the points. Now, once again, when you want to create a frequency polygon, you need to find the midpoints of each class. And those midpoints will be the x-axis. Let's zoom out a little bit. So I should put midpoints right here. And look what it says. You want to create a frequency polygon and a relative frequency polygon. So first, let's take care of the frequencies. Okay. So now, let's find the midpoints. Define the midpoint of each class. It is the lower limit plus the upper limit divided by 2. Let's find the midpoints for the first class. XM1. That is going to be 27 plus 33 divided by 2. 27 plus 33 is 60. 60 divided by 2 is 30. So my first midpoint is 30. And I'm going to place that right here on the x-axis. The second midpoint, that is going to be 34 plus 40 divided by 2. 34 plus 40 is 74. 74 divided by 2 is 37. We can find one more. Let's find one more. 41 plus 47 divided by 2. That's 88 divided by 2. That is 44. If you notice the pattern, each midpoint is increasing by 7. 30 plus 7 is 37. 37 plus 7 is 44. So 44 plus 7 is 51. If you add 7 again, that's 58. Add 7 again, 65. Add 7 again, 72. Now, if you want to, you can find the midpoint 7 times. But remember, if we know the class width already, which is 7, because we created this table in question 8, you can just add 7 to find the next midpoint. 51, 58, 65, 72. Now, before you continue, before you start plotting the points, you need to find the starting and ending value of the frequency polygon. You must find one midpoint lower than the lowest midpoint and one midpoint above the highest midpoint. Those will be the starting and ending values, and those points will be on the x-axis. So what I'm going to do is let me zoom in first. Okay, I messed that up. Let's place those points right here and right here, because we'll start on the x-axis and we'll end on the x-axis. And we must use the class width to find those values. The distance between each of these midpoints is 7. So if this lowest value right here is 30, and I move 1 unit to the left, I'm decreasing by 7. So 30 minus 7 is 23. And if the highest midpoint is 72, and I'm moving 1 unit to the right, I'm increasing by 7. So 72 plus 7 is 79. That will be the starting and ending values for my frequency polygon. And now we can use the frequencies for the dots. The midpoint of 30, that's a frequency of 7. Put the number right next to it. For 37, the frequency is 14. My hand-eye coordination may not be the best. So let me try that again. Because I know I definitely misplaced that dot. For the midpoint of 44, the class frequency is 15. For 51, the frequency is 11. Let me double check that one more time. For 58, it's 3. $65, it's also 3. And then it's 2. And let's connect those dots. To the best of our abilities, of course, because I cannot draw to save my life. As we can see right now. And that is our frequency polygon. Rough sketch. Pretty decent. Now, we're going to construct the relative frequency polygon. The x-axis will remain the same because we're using the same values. So my starting is 23. I'll put the dot here off the back. Then we have 30, 37, 44, 51, 58, 65, 72, and then we have 79. Now, go back to question number 9. I think it was number 10. No, it was number 9. I'm lying. Number 10. And use the relative frequencies that we found for the heights of the points. So, for the first class, the midpoint is 30, and the relative frequency for the first class is 0.13. For the second class, it is 0.25. For the third class, it is 0.27. For the fourth class, it is 0.2. For the fifth class, it is 0.05. For the sixth class, it's the same thing, 0.05. And for the seventh class, it is 0.04. Zero 0.05, 0.05, 0.04. Let's connect those dots. We'll mess that one up. And that is our relative frequency polygon. All right, guys, that is it to this video. Hope you enjoyed it. 2 more small sections next, and then we're done with chapter 2. Take care.